Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another week of Carly's Couch. I'm getting better, y'all. I'm getting better. It's so funny. I've been podcasting for going on 8 years. And let's see, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So like 6 months on my own. And it's so funny because every single week, there has been some type of technology, something hasn't uploaded. And it's so funny because at first, that's what I was so anxious about. Like, oh, I hope the quality is good. I hope everything is going to work. And then now it's like, I'm just kind of laughing at myself and keeping the punches rolling. So thank you, Jay, for letting me know when my audio wasn't uploaded or when it cut off and just all kind of funny stuff. But I am working on getting shorter segments to y'all weekly. I would love to be back weekly. So I'm going to try to hold myself accountable for that. And then I have some other people that I want to interview and have share their stories because I think that Carly's Couch is such a great platform. I know that Carly's Couch is such a great platform for amazing stories. So if you want to tell your story or if you know any amazing people who need to be on the couch, out in the wild with me, let me know. So hit me, Carly's Couch at Gmail. There's a place on the website, Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Hit me up. But today we are going to shout out Duran Bernard. Congratulations to him for his Grammy. After 20 years being an independent artist and doing what he loves. So shout out to him for just being him. But in this particular episode, I was inspired by his win and how he took a moment to savor his win. So today's episode is entitled How to Savor. And we are going to talk about ways you can be more intentional about celebrating yourself, savoring every single moment in your life, and being present, because essentially that's what savoring is. So something that he said, when you're accomplishing, don't allow people to drag you away from your moment so quick with what's next. And I feel like as an overachiever, as a high achieving person, as someone who has a lot of goals, my brain thinks like that. It's like peaks, like you climb to the top of the one and now you're on to the next one. And oftentimes we don't take time to sit and reflect, to sit and savor, to sit and enjoy for things that so often have taken many years, 20 years. Duran has been an independent artist. It took him 20 years to get his Grammy. And how sweet that is. I'm glad he was so intentional. And he said, reveling in with that, sitting with that, like reveling in the reality that I did this thing that I've been praying for so long, that I've been crying for and working so hard for. And if you in LA, you working a couple jobs to make the main thing be the main thing. It may be all around the world too, but especially I feel like in LA, people are slashers, New York too. Like you're always doing a couple things to make the main thing the main thing. And what a beautiful moment that is. And so often the first question interviewers ask is, okay, great, what's next? And it's like, dang, I just got my award. What you mean, what's next? And oftentimes our brains do push there because, okay, we climb to the peak and what's the next thing we can achieve? But you're not here in this life to just achieve. You're here in this life to live. And so I'm challenging you this week to spend more time to be present, to savor from the smallest thing, eating your breakfast, eating your food. As a trainer who eats a lot of lap lunches in my car, shout out to Lala, and all the other trainers I know, like sometimes we can inhale food, or like people who are working, like you just inhale food. You don't even actually sit and enjoy it. And we don't get that time back. So I hope that you take this as a reminder to be on your walk and actually be present, to sit and play with your kids and actually be present, to read a book and be present, to watch a show that you love and be present, like actually enjoy it. And I'll give you some tips to get there. And so some other questions I had to ask myself. So what's the point in attempting to enjoy this moment if all you're going to do is push past it for whatever reason, because now isn't good enough, because you're not good enough in this moment, that you have to keep continuing to push forward and achieve the next thing because you're not worthy. And I feel like that's a big reason why we celebrate, because we're always trying to prove something. I've talked to some friends, some line sisters, a lot of very high achieving women, some of my guy friends too, but a lot of my high achieving women friends, and they don't really ever sit with the things that they do and how amazing they are. And I'm like, dang, if you could see yourself the way I see you. And so I think it's just a practice of sitting with the greatness of who we are, sitting with the acceptance of all that we are, and allowing ourselves to bask in that, while also, looking forward, but not looking so far ahead forward that you're not able to enjoy the present. So don't be quick to move past what took place. Make sure that you're enjoying things, not just the big stuff. There was a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that said, "Many people are alive, but don't touch the miracle of being alive because they are so busy living in the future for their next achievement in the past where things didn't work out or shaming themselves." I often find that even when people win, they're like, "Oh, but I could have did that better." And I'm guilty of that too. Like I'll have done a thing and be like, "But I really should have said that instead," or "I really could have did better when I, with this." And it's like, why take the time to pick yourself apart? Like you could really be sitting in the present with something, but you're so busy, you're so used to critiquing yourself, being hard on yourself, that it's easier for your brain to do that than just to rest in the present moment that is, especially if it's a win. And so taking time to just allow your feet to be where they are. And then here's a couple of little tips or quick things to think about as you're sitting with savoring, whether it is savoring the process. Maybe you're not to the peak of the mountain yet. Maybe it's sitting with the beginning. You are taking your first steps, and I'm so proud of you for stepping into something that you believe in and going for it, because most people never do. And you are so worthy and your dreams are so worth it. And I'm so excited. Please hit me at Carly's Couch. Let me know what you're working on. But wherever you are in the process, challenge yourself to be there and enjoy it for all the moments. Because even when you get to the top of the mountain, a lot of rich people, a lot of successful people, and I know it's easier to say once you've made it, but they're like, "Man, the best part of my life was when I was struggling in law school or when I was doing XYZ." And so you just don't want to miss it. You don't want to get to the end of your life and not having actually lived it. So taking some moments to just be present. And you can do this by slowing down. So you can slow down how fast you eat. You can, there's this, if you look it up, it's called like a mindful eating meditation or an eating meditation. And when I did it at USC with a mindfulness group, we had raisins and we had chocolate, and we did a mindful eating moment and really slowed down. Because when's the last time you slowed down to taste a piece of chocolate, to taste a raisin? And if you don't like raisins, you can do a pickle or whatever you want to do. But to notice the texture, to notice how it smells, to notice how it feels on your fingers, on your lips, on your tongue. When's the last time you really just sat with what something tastes like, how bitter some cacao chocolate is versus how super sweet a white chocolate is? Like really sitting there and just tasting something, not scarfing, not eating, but like just tasting. So slowing down could be a great mechanism to help you learn how to savor wine, coffee, tea, your warm lemon water in the morning. How does it feel as the steam rises up to your nose, as you take your first sip, like reading your book, just sitting outside, savoring. So move slow this week. That's the first tip. The next one is achieve fast, celebrate slow. So be quick to take action. So achieve fast, work on things, bet on yourself, but actually allow yourself time to celebrate and figure out what that means for you. I have a friend who takes a thinking trip every month. It's 1 day or 2 days a month where they go and reflect. And that's all that they do. And you could think about something like that in your life. If that's inaccessible, what does it look like to have an hour a week where you go sit at your favorite park, or you go to a museum and journal, or take yourself out to dinner and just celebrate? Write down all the good things that happened. Write down what you're grateful for. Write down how you're feeling in the moment. Another way is to write. That's what I'm leading into, because when you write with your hand, it turns on a lot of things in your brain and helps you remember. They were actually saying that there's a study that shows that writing at least 15 minutes a day is linked to a lower rate in Alzheimer's, because there's something about writing down physically. So I challenge you this week to take some time writing. If you are writing down your accomplishments, you can put them in a little jar and maybe check it at the end of the year, at the end of the month, like whenever you want to check it, but it's just an intentional moment to celebrate yourself. So move more slowly, achieve fast, celebrate slow, write things down, practice gratitude. And I know everybody's like, "Oh my God, practice gratitude," but gratitude scientifically does change your brain, your energy, and your heart. And it's low-hanging fruit. It doesn't cost anything to be grateful. And the more you look for stuff to be grateful for, the more things you'll find to be grateful for. So being grateful. And then you can also use your senses. So if you are winning something, like let's say, okay, you just, I don't know, you graduated and you're like, "Oh man, I feel so overwhelmingly grateful. I could smell my family's barbecue because they were celebrating me Oh, I remember feeling all the hugs. If you use your senses in a moment, they enhance. If you're doing it, for a mindful eating, maybe you're at a coffee shop and you get a chocolate croissant and a latte. You're like, oh, this croissant is so flaky. I can feel it in my hands. I can smell the chocolate in the coffee. I can see families and their dogs sitting outside of the cafe and playing. I can feel the sunshine. Like, think about how to enhance the present moment with your senses, because that causes you to be present. And then the last one is to share it with somebody that you love. So making like your jar of celebration, maybe you and your best friend or you and your partner or you and your kids can have a little like what went well this week and talk about that. Like, what are some glows from this week? You could also do grows, but I think the idea is to do glows and to celebrate yourself. Nothing, you can't learn anything. Nothing happens without reflection. There's some quote right now that's escaping me, but always making time to reflect, always taking time for yourself, knowing that you are so worthy to enjoy this life that we are blessed to be living, even with all the nonsense happening in the world. And so making sure that you are actually living it, that you're being present, that you're savoring it, that you're moving more slowly, more intentionally, you're pausing to reflect, to practice gratitude, to celebrate, to feel with all your senses, to taste, to just enjoy life. Don't miss the miracle that is life. Don't let it pass you by. Hit me at Carly's Couch. Let me know how you are savoring the moment this week. If you ain't told Duran, congratulations. You can go hit him up or go watch his interview. Not even an interview. I think it was just something on his Instagram or something that he posted. But it was so beautiful. And I love how intentional he was with his moment, because that's what it was. Him and his parents and all the people that supported him. So how are you savoring this moment in your life, big or small? Hit me. I would love to hear. And if you have any episode ideas, let me know. I'm super excited to be more present, more frequently getting back on my Monday schedule. But yeah, I would love to hear from y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all next week.